Hi, welcome to DT Cases. In this current session, we are going to discuss about Azure App Service. The Azure App Service is a HTTP based service for hosting the web applications, REST APIs, and mobile backends. The Azure App Service is a fully managed web application hosting platform. That is, the Azure App Service is a PaaS service, that is platform as a service offered by Azure, allows you to focus on designing and building of your app, and Azure will takes care of infrastructure and scale your applications. So you no need to think about application infrastructure like managing the application OS, all those things you don't need to bother. The app service adds the power of Azure Microsoft Service to your applications such as security, load balancing, auto scaling, and automated management. So you no need to think about the OS patches, all those things in the production environment also. You just manage the applications. Azure will take care of rest. And why we use the Azure App Service? Does it support only .NET framework or any other languages? The app service supports the multiple languages and the frameworks. App service has supports the ASP.NET, ASP.NET Core, Java, Ruby, Node.js, PHP, and Python. And second feature is global scale with high availability. The Azure App Service provides a out-of-box features like scale up or scale out manually or automatically, and provides the high available with 95.5%. We'll talk in a while what is scale up and scale out. Managed production environment. App service automatically patches and maintains the OS and language frameworks. If there is any patches required, it will be taken care by the Azure. And one more feature is continuous integration and deployment. Azure App Service supports the multiple softwares to supports the continuous integration and deployment for the applications. It supports the Azure DevOps. It supports GitHub, Bitbucket, Local Git, and Docker Hub. So these are all the deployment options if you want to make a continuous integration and deployment. So how Azure App Service will work, or how app will work. As a user, you're trying to call the any website or any web application. So you send the request, and Azure App Service will process the request and will give the response. So this is the deployment folder structure. So under www root, you can deploy all your HTML and respective of code. The app service plan is to upsize of your server. Like for example, you want to get a better performance, you want to increase your RAM, you want to increase your storage, will be managed at the app service plan. So using the same app service plan, you can able to attach the multiple app services. You can use the same app service plan for the multiple app service applications. So this is the how you can able to deploy your code into the deployment folders. So this is the structure, deployment folder structure. I'll go through all these in detail in a while. And app service limitations. App service on Linux is not supported on shared pricing tier. In Windows, it will support the shared pricing tier, but in Linux it is not supported yet. Azure portal shows only features that currently work for Linux apps. As the features are enabled, they are activated on the portal. So these are all the limitations of app service for the Linux. Now we switch to the Azure portal to view the how we can create the Azure App Service. So go to the resource group, and the resource group create a resource. If anybody using this Azure portal first time, I will tell that you need to create the resource group. Under the resource group, you can create the resources. So now I'll search for the Azure App Service, like we can call this as also Azure Web App. The Azure App Service enjoy secure and flexible deployment, development, and scaling options with your web app. So create the web app. So it will ask you to choose a resource group. Since I already created a resource group, I'm going to reuse that, and I will call this as a D2KSS web app 1. And here you can publish the code in 3 formats, like by code or using Docker container or static web app. So I'm going to choose this as a code, and I will choose this .NET 6.0, and I will choose Windows, and the region is East US, and the pricing plans. So this is the app service plans. So you can able to choose this. I can name it this as D2KSS plan, app plan. Click OK, and here you will get the lot of options. So explore these pricing plans. So this is a hardware view. If you want, memory is 1.75 GB and remote storage is 10 GB scale. So you can choose basic and shared D1. So based on the sizes, this is the hardware format. This is the feature view. So what are all the features? So for example, if you choose free F1, then you will not get any features like auto scaling, daily backups, staging slots, all those things. But based on your requirement and the budget, you can able to choose these pricing plans. So for now, I'm going to choose this shared D1. So since alright, we can choose the basic P1 also. We need the auto scale. And just go to the deployment. So in the deployment, it is asking the continuous deployment. Do you want to enable the continuous deployment or not? If you select yes, then it will ask you GitHub account. So you need to authorize. Once you authorize, it will load all the organizations, all the repositories and branches, which allows to continuous deployment. So I'm just choosing disable, and networking, enable the public IP address, enable the network injection. I'm disabling that, and app insights and monitoring. The Azure Monitor App Insights is an application performance management service for the developers or DevOps professionals. So what this application insights will help. Enable it below to automatically monitor your applications. It will detect the performance anomalies, includes the powerful analytic tools to help you diagnose the issue, to understand what user actually do with your app. Your bill based on the amount of data used in the application insights and data retention settings. So for this demo, I will not choose this, and go to the tags So for the billing purpose, you can use this tags or name or value pairs that enables you to categorize the resources and use a consolidated billing by applying the same tag to multiple resources. When you give financial, when you give IT, all those things. For example, this web app you are giving for IT, you can choose give IT. Okay, so for that purpose, you can use the tag and review and create. So creating the web app. So it will take another 1 to 2 minutes. So the deployment is completed and go to the resources. And here we'll walk through the some of the options available here in the left navigation. The overview. The overview here in the top you can able to see you can stop your app service, you restart, or you can delete or download the published profile. All those things you can able to do. And in the essentials you can able to see which resource group this particular app service has been created, default domain. So since when you are not added any custom domain, it will give the Azure will give you the default domain. Using this default domain you can able to browse your app service. So this is the default page the app service has been created. So you can able to access this app service using this default domain URL, and under which app service plan we have created this app service and which operating system, and it is showing all the configurations we have selected like .NET 6.0, publishing model is code, and all this last deployment, all these things is still loading. So you can able to add the custom domain. Go to this custom domain, and here you can add the custom domains, all those things. It will allow you to add these custom domains. So again go to overview. So this is all about the overview. So it will show all the default configurations which has been created for the app service, and diagnose and solve the problems. This particular diagnose will option will help to diagnose the if your any of the features is not running. It will show alerts, 1 success and 3 critical, all those things it will show. So we have to go through this critical and solve those issues, why it is identifying as a critical, all those things. And then one more thing is under deployment slots. This particular deployments slot is a mechanism to deploy the app code into the production without the downtime. See here, under the basic app service plan, this deployment slot is not available. So we have to upgrade this. So here it is don't have any deployment slot features. For example, if you go for production and you can choose S1, and you will get that options. So for this demo I'm not going to choose that production option. And deployment center, this particular deployment center will allow to continuous integration of the application, continuous deployment of the application. So you can able to choose this Azure repos, and it will load the respective organizations and project repositories and branch. You can able to do that. And under settings there is one more option called configurations. This is very important one. When you are configuring your application app settings or correction string, it is not advised to store in the application file. So you can configure in the application settings or connection settings under these configurations and app settings, and you can create the new connection strings, and you can configure the connection string and save it here. When application look for a connection string, first it will look for these configurations. Under these configuration strings, it will look into that value. If it is not found, then it will look for the code app settings file. The next one is authentication. So this option will provide the identity provider for the applications. You can able to integrate with the integration services like the authentication services like Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, GitHub, Google, Twitter, OpenID, for all those things. And next important thing is custom domain. So here you can able to add your custom domain, which I have shown in previously. And one more thing is scale up and scale out. So what is the scale up option? For example, now we have choose the shared basic B1 we have chosen. What the basic B1 is providing, the server configurations is 1.75 GB of memory, 10 GB of storage, and 3 instance of scale, and provides the SLA is 99.5%. And in basic B2, for example, if I choose this basic B2, so meaning I'm scale up my server configuration from 2 vCPUs, 3.5 memory, 10 GB of storage, 3 scale instances. So that is the scale up. Scale out is you are increasing the number of instances for that particular app service. So manually you can able to increase the instances count. So this is the scale out. And one more option you can able to see is if you want to change the plan, you can able to choose the app service plan. You can able to select the plan, and you can change that app settings plan, or you can create the new one. And the rest of the things you can find when you are using that. You can find those options. In the demo, next what I want to try is I want to publish my .NET application into this app service. So for that I'm going to create a .NET applications. So create a new project and choose the ASP.NET Core Web App, and next, and choose App Service Demo, and just choose .NET 6.0 and continue. So now project is creating. So the project is created, and you have to build the application, make sure that there is no errors. So project is successful, and run this application in your local. So when I run the application in my local, so I have this is the default template get loaded in my local. So now I want to publish this particular application into the app service which I just created. So click on the publish, and here it will ask you number of options. I'm going to choose this Azure. Click next. Azure App Service Windows. Since my application is Windows, I'm going to choose app service, and here it will ask, first thing you need to log in. Since I already logged in, it has loaded my resource group automatically, and I will choose this application. D2K SS Web App 1 is my application. You can go back and see what is our app service name and click finish. Now the publishing settings has been created. Click on the publish. So go to here and refresh this application. So it is still showing the old template which is created by default. Once the publishing is finished, then you can able to see the template which we have been seen in our local. So publish is completed. Then you can go back and refresh the page. That's all.